Okay, so here is the unit circle. We have a 1 unit circle where the radius is 1 unit. We have a 360-degree circle. Each of these quadrants is how many degrees?
90.
90 degrees, right? Does everyone understand that? From here to here is 90 degrees. So we're in the chapter where we're going to talk about triangles in the unit circle. So you know that a circle has 360 degrees, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now, I am going to talk about 2 special triangles. If from here to here is 90 degrees, let's talk about halfway. From here to here, if 90 degrees is from here to here, what's half of 90? 45. So check this out, 45 degrees. Isn't it really small? This little area that I'm drawing from here to here, 45 degrees. Okay, now from here to here is 1 unit. If from here to here is 1 unit, that's the radius. Here to here is also 1 unit. Do you agree?
No.
Right? That's the radius. From here to here is 1 unit.
Oh, yeah.
This is 1 unit. This is 1 unit. This is your radius. This is 1 unit. So, tell me, do you agree from here to here is 1 unit?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so now, I want you to look, now I drew my picture bigger. Do you see where we're at now? I took this 1 unit, my 1 unit, that's my 1 unit right there, and I blew it up. There's my 1 unit. Why did I do that? So you can see it. I'm still 1 unit. Do you understand that? Okay, so now, this is still 1 unit, my radius. This is still 1 unit. This is still 1 unit. Now, if this is 1 unit, and I'm calling this a 45-degree angle, this is just a point on my circle. In geometry, you learned when you have a triangle, what are the sum of the 3 angles? What do they add up to be all the time? 180. So if you drop a line here, and this is a 90-degree angle, I'm talking about this triangle right here. If I'm telling you that that's 90, and I'm telling you that we're talking about a 45, this angle has to be 45, which is an isosceles triangle. And you learned in geometry that if you have an isosceles triangle, these 2 sides are the same. This is one thing leads to another. If these 2 sides are the same, if these 2 angles are the same, then these 2 sides are the same. If these 2 sides are the same and you have a right triangle, then you can use the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So then what we did is we proved x is equal to 1 over root 2. So what you have here is this side is 1 over root 2. We don't like the dimensions here, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply each of these sides by the square root of 2. And we're allowed to do that because we don't like to have a square root of 2 underneath the denominator here. So what you have here is this triangle that you should have learned in geometry. If you have a 45, 45, 90-degree triangle, the 2 legs are the square root, 1, 1, 1, and you are going to take the hypotenuse, and whatever this is, you're going to multiply it by that leg times the square root of 2. Whatever that is, times the square root of 2. So now, I'm going to throw some examples at you. So if you have some 45ers, let's look at some examples. if you have 45, 45, 90, and I say one leg is 5, what do you notice, what do you know about the other leg?
It's 5.
It has to be. It has to be. What's the hypotenuse gonna be? It's gonna be this times the square root of 2. So if I give you another 45, 45, 90, and I say this leg is 3, what's this leg gonna be?
3.
What's this leg, what's this hypotenuse gonna be?
3 square root of 2.
3 square root of 2. So I give you another one, 45, 45, 90. I say this is 10.5. What's this side?
10.5.
10.5. What's this?
10.5.
So if you have a 45, 45, 90, to go from the leg, both legs will be the same measurement. To go from the leg to the hypotenuse. And how do you know which is the hypotenuse? The longest, it's the side opposite the right angle. You multiply it by square root 2, whatever it is. Whatever the legs are. Now, what if we go the other way? Do you remember when we did sequences in series? When we went forward on a sequence, we multiplied. When we went the other way, what did we do? What did we do? Yes, you got it. So now, what if I do this? What if I give you a 45, 45, 90, and I tell you that the hypotenuse is 10, and I want to know what the leg is? How do I go the other direction? I'm not going to multiply by the square root of 10. I'm going to, did I say multiply by the square root of 10? I did. I meant to say, what did I mean to say?
Root 2.
I'm going to divide by the square root of 2. So, can everyone remember that? If you're going to go from small to big, you multiply by the square root of 2. If you go from big to small, you divide by the square root of 2. Can you remember that? Do you remember doing this?
No.
Geometry was Okay, now, I'm going to make this quick. Do you remember the 30, 60, 90 triangle?
Sure.
Okay, the side opposite the 30, we're going to call this a 1. I'm going through this fast because it's Wednesday and we don't have a lot of time. I still have another section to cover. The hypotenuse is double the shorter leg. So in a 30, this is another special triangle. We have 2 special triangles that you have to know. So in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the 30 is 1 unit. You double the hypotenuse. So what's doubling a 1? What do you get?
2.
2. The 60 degree is the square root of 3 times the smaller leg. So it's 1 times the square root of 3. Okay? Everyone okay? I know this is not very, very interesting stuff, but let's see how good you are at this now. You gotta go all different ways here. Now, 30. If I tell you that, I'm gonna make this up.
Is this an example?
This is an example. If I throw at you, the shorter leg is 5. Give me the other 2 sides. What's 10?
The
The one across from the
hypotenuse.
The
90.
hypotenuse. What's the 60 degree? 5 root 3. Beautiful.
Where'd you get 5 root 3
You take the shorter leg and you multiply it by the square root of 3.
So that 5 is always just doubled? Is always
Sorry.
doubled?
This is doubled to
Always?
get the hypotenuse, always.
So if you say, if you gave us like 10, we would divide it by 2?
Yep, I was just gonna do one of those. So if I give you, I'm gonna change a couple things around. See if you can catch what I'm changing. Changing a couple things, you gotta think. What is 8 called? The hypotenuse.
So
Across from 60 would be
the other one
4.
was before.
What's 4?
The one across, the angle of the line across from
I
60.
forget the name of the angle.
One of the legs is 60.
What leg? I'll call this,
Along the-
I'll call this A and this B.
B.
B is 4.
No,
Wait,
B,
A is 4.
A is 4.
Because
you're crossing
A is 4, why?
It's opposite of the 30.
It's opposite the 30.
I
So
don't get
you
that.
take, the shorter leg is half of the hypotenuse.
But you just did it. Yeah, go back to.
Yep, I'll go back to the other one. This one,
Oh, it's because she changed where the
I
60
switched
and the
them, I
30.
told you, you gotta watch. I
I don't
switched,
like that.
you don't like that. You gotta watch. So, the leg, you gotta watch your angles.
I don't like that.
This 30 degrees, that's your shorter side. And these are things that you learned in geometry. So your 30 degree right here goes with this leg right there. And the 60 goes with that. This is important for what we're gonna do in the next couple days. So do you understand that the hypotenuse is 8, so therefore my 30 degree is half of this, I'm gonna do half of 8, I'm gonna put the 4 here. So now what am I gonna call B?
4 root 3.
Yes, 4 root 3. You get it?
So why?
Let's do another one.
Sure. I guess.
I'm gonna call this 30, 60. I'll call this 8. Here.
Wait.
Don't you have to put 8 to a
I don't
third?
know either.
It's a third and being
How do you
16
go
to is
from
the
the
hypotenuse.
longer leg to the shorter leg?
You divide by root 3.
You divide by
Root 3.
root 3.
So that's what goes on.
So don't you have to rationalize it? No? Maybe?
You don't worry about that. I'm not worried about that.
Oh.
So this is your shorter leg. Now, how do you do the hypotenuse? You have
It's
to
a,
Oh,
double this.
yeah, double it.
So it would be 2 times 8 over root 3, or 16 over root 3. 16 over root 3.
That's the answer.
Wait,
Mhm.
That's it.
why did, never
And you can like multiply by root 3.
Yeah.
You can do that and get rid of the, you'd have to multiply all of these by root 3 though. I'm not worried about that. I just want you to understand the relationship though of each side. Let's do one more to make sure. That one was a little sticky. So 30, 60, let's do 20. So what's what? The hypotenuse is 20. I'll call this
30
A.
is 10. A is 10.
A is 10,
Yeah, and then B is 10 over root 3, right?
10 over root 3,
10 root 3.
10 times the square root of 3. You multiply the shorter leg times root 3. Now, if you go from the bigger leg to the smaller leg, you divide by the square root of 3. Okay? that's what you did yesterday. I just wanted to go back over that in case you didn't understand that. Okay, good? All right, Travis, stop.
Yep.